Tonight on Guilty Gear Strive, Anji Mito presses Fujin and fucking dies.
Like, here's the thing. Fujin, as a tool, very good at low and mid-level when people don't know. But what a lot of people also don't know is that Fujin is a huge knowledge check. So I'm going to set up a recording real quick. We're going to have this set up in the corner. We're going to set Anji to record. And here we go. So Anji doing delayed low. Anji doing overhead. Anji doing fans. And then hop. There we go. We have a full Fujin sequence set. So here's the thing here. We're going to set Anji to random. He's going to play all of this shit. And here's the thing. If you have a DP, literally just buffer DP during Fujin. So if he does it airtight and you buffer your DP right, you'll notice right here, literally, Chip's DP will beat every single Fujin follow-up that is not airtight low. Unless Anji is spaced specifically at a very, very max range distance with Fujin. Any character with an invincible uppercut can do this for free. Same with anyone with a metered reversal. So in other words, if you're fighting against Ramlethal and she has like 50 meter, she can make you explode into a pile of meat dust. And like, here's the thing, even if you don't have a DP, for those that don't know, you can literally react to everything. But yeah, if he does overhead or hop, you can mash it, you can throw it, you can close slash punish it. And here's the thing, you don't even have to mash it. Literally, if he doesn't have meter, if he has meter, it's a different story. If you block that overhead, you get a meaty punish. And like, just for reference sake, minus 16 if you don't go into a follow-up, so you can blow him up if he does nothing. Minus 12. Minus 15. Minus 7. Plus 4. So the thing about fans is they're slow. So you can just jump out of fans. And you can do it pretty much on reaction. I like this character a lot because he rewards a very specific playstyle. And you kind of go all in, and it's similar to like a character like Makoto in Third Strike, where you're just like, I'm gonna go balls to the fucking wall and make really wild reads and get huge damage for it. He's a character also made about conditioning, but his conditioning tools in Fujin are all fake. Fujin becomes a huge risk. And like, all of those are risky if you have a DP. If you have a DP, Anji's literally only going to do that a lot of the time. And he's going to do that over and over until you get conditioned, and then he's going to try to sneak in like one different thing. Now, granted, when he has meter, it's a little different. Let's say after every Fujin, you've DP'd every single follow-up that isn't airtight low, okay? If he chooses to spend bar and you try to DP out, there's a very high chance that you just get thrown out of it. And this is Anji's counterplay. Anji's only way to counterplay this shit a lot of the time, other than playing ridiculously safe and declawing himself, is to spend bar to checkmate you. And even then, that's still a lot of resources that he has to spend to get 80 fucking damage. And then that's when you start getting into shit like this. Instead of going into like Fujin off of random pokes to try to start pressure, he'll start doing shit like this, where he'll do like 5k in a spin. And this shit's actually mad good. Like, I'm not even gonna downplay this. I legit think this shit's mad good. Because he can get throws and shit off of it, and he can choose to hold it. If you're a mashy player, you're gonna get blown the fuck up. However, this leads into the second big weakness of this character, and it is that he is incredibly incredibly weak to a wait and see playstyle, where literally a ton of the time, Anji, in order to get his big reward, is forced to make big reads. Big committal reads. Where you'll see Anji do shit like dash forward spin. And the thing about spin is, one, it's 10 frame startup. So if you're preemptive with your button, you can counter hit him out of it and get decent damage. Two, he's throwable during the entirety of spin. So literally, if like you're Anji and you're just like doing a ton of that shit, trying to get people to do shit, just be like, oh, run up and throw him. You can just like wait a tick. Oh, he's spinning? Okay, I'm just gonna fucking throw him. Like, you can just super grab the spin. It's super free, especially for a character like Chip, where literally you just tap the dash button and you're in. You just tap the dash button. Oh shit, okay, cool, I'm in. Let's go. Let's fucking go. The thing about that is Anji is going to, in response, if you start doing shit like that, begin mixing in his other follow-ups. Because if you don't know this, just in case, I'm assuming you may or may not know, he has 3 spins. Normal spin, which you can hold. And then you have Ko, which if you hold Ko, he goes into spin state first to get auto guard. And then you have Fujin. And if you hold Fujin, he goes into auto guard spin. And so essentially what he'll do is the mix in neutral is, if he's wanting to call shit out, he'll spin towards you empty, or he'll mix between the anti-air spin or the Fujin spin. To where it's like, if you're going to try to run up and throw him, Anji can start a Fujin spin and then let it go early and attempt to blow up your throw. The issue is, that's actually kind of difficult-ish on a character like Chip, and Anji has to be very, very predictive. You don't think any other Anji has even done that on me? That's the thing. A lot of this character is relatively underexplored, and I feel like there's legitimate potential. Like, I downplay this character a lot. Honestly, I still think he has a lot of issues. I think he is workable. That's kind of where Anji is it's like he has to make incredibly committal reads in order to get much of anything done. And like, playing this character at high level is so hard, because it's like when you get a hit, you go the fuck in. But the issue is that your defensive options are kind of linear, as well as your offensive options are kind of linear, and you have to go really out of the box to get a lot of shit done. And I think that honestly, this character would be fine if his frame data wasn't so shitty, because it's like, this is 6 frame startup. His fastest buttons are 5P and 2P, which are both 6 frames. So for a character like Chip, you can go literally crazy. If you're Chip, you can just be like, close slash, delay far slash, close slash throw, close slash delay 2S, delay 2H. Like, you can frame trap this character for days. And like, literally, I've had situations where people have been like, I'm gonna tick throw you, and unless I start mashing frame -1, I'm gonna get thrown out of my normal a lot of the time, because of how slow my jab is. And I can't spin on reversal because it's 10 frame startup to get to the auto guard. It turns into a lot of, on defense, Anji has to do a lot of fuzzy mashing, fuzzy jumping, fuzzy backdashing, like a lot of fuzzy shit, which you can just blow up with delayed buttons. So literally, if you want to just blow up Anji on defense relatively easily, close slash, throw. Close slash, delay 2S. And like, it's that one option right there is going to call out the majority of Anji's defensive options that he has access to. The only thing is that if you do close slash and like delay 2S, you open yourself up to his counter super. But like, as long as you're just paying attention to his meter, then you can just sometimes be like, I'm not gonna go into 2S, I'm gonna let him hang himself. The last thing I wanted to cover about this character, and it's partially also based on my comment on his frame data, is garbage. Mid-range. Mid-range, this character has big hitboxes, and they're decently sized hitboxes. They're pretty good. They're very, very slow. They have a lot of startup and a lot of recovery. You're going to see good Anji players poke more with like 5K, which this is 8 frame startup, which is, you know, that's essentially a far slash. It's a little shorter than some far slashes, but I can mash this in mid-range and not get killed. And if I throw this out as a poke, I can make people respect it in terms of a frame trap by doing like 5K into 6H, or 5K into 2D, or 5K 2D Fujin, and like any of these lead into Fujin for additional frame traps. So it's like, it's not a bad option. But then you have 5S, which is a very big option and it's very good. The only issue is that it's very slow to start up and very slow to recover. So literally, if you're Chip, you can kind of just dance circles and just be like, dash in, dash back. If you see him with far slash, run up and then take your turn. Literally, the thing I would say in this matchup overall, though, with Chip Anji, is definitely employ a wait and see mentality. Because Anji can't really do anything to you from this range, and he's gonna be forced to throw some sort of haymaker, whether that's spin, Fujin, or Ko. And that's the last thing I want to actually highlight is Ko. This move right here, that's the money maker. That's what wins me games. Literally, this move right here, this is head involve from like frame 1. So if I just do it, this is like a super 6P. It will beat anything in the air. And if you air block this, you are jailed, back down to the ground. Anji gets to start his turn. With Ko, I should say. With Ko, you want to try to avoid air blocking that. So with Chip, that's not as big of a deal because you have the 3 jumps. So you can generally just kind of like jump around in relatively safe places. But just know that he's going to be going for that fucking anti-air. And try your best not to get hit by it. If you get counter hit, you will die. That anti-air leads to like a clean 270 damage, I think, on Chip. It is actively insane. That's literally the thing with Anji, is if he hits you, your life is miserable. But you can avoid getting hit relatively easily in a lot of cases, unless he has meter. Because I'm going to iterate right now, when this character has meter, he is fucking cracked. That's a high-low mix that you can do, where you can do either 5D, 2D, 2K, etc. And every option leads into anywhere between 150 to 180 damage. I think the 2D actually leads into like a 200 damage option if you have 100 bar. And it always leads into wall break if you're anywhere near the corner. And he also has like just a bunch of other shit with like post-throw mix-ups. Which the best thing I can say about post-throw mix-ups is if he throws you and then does that's a safe jump. A lot of Anjis that I've seen online don't do that though. They'll, like, even if they have them in the corner, they'll butterfly, which butterfly in the corner literally doesn't work. Does he get an air dash after this? Yes. After you have after Ko, you have access to all of your air options. So he can do that. Granted, that's actually fake, because if you know he's gonna do it, you can just mash out. So like, super fake. 100% super fake. Just make sure that you're mashing a standing button, because I've seen people that will mash crouching buttons and it will blow that the fuck up, depending on character. Some characters' crouching buttons are actually big enough to hit him out of it. That's essentially the how to fuck up Anji 101 seminar.